What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The market is killing us today, but I was able to squeeze out some profits on the PFE puts. I did talk about those in my last video. If you guys are interested, check out that video. But today I want to talk about one of my current favorite SPACs. It's also currently one of my favorite charging companies. That is Tritium Charging. Today they announced their fourth quarter earnings, so I kind of want to go through that, give you guys an update on the business combination. They will be merging next week, but I'll give you guys some more details in the video. What I want to hear from you guys is, what is your current favorite charging company? Is it Chargepoint, Evgo, Volta, EV Box? Although I think they actually backed out of their deal, so it's not going to be publicly traded. Is it Blink? I think Blink is probably my least favorite. In my opinion, they're a bit overvalued and some of their charging stations look outdated, but that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. You guys have been a lot more active on the channel and the community posts, so hopefully I'm bringing some value to these videos. Not sure how many of you guys are actually investing in Tritium. The best way for me to stay up to date with their news is actually following them on Twitter. They just tweeted out their fourth quarter earnings today. They announced record sales, record backlog, and revenue. I do want to go through some of the important things from the earnings report, but I want to show you guys one comment that I thought was actually really interesting. Oh, and look, there I go. I commented earlier on this post, invest in Tritium and retire early. And actually I got a couple likes, so that's pretty good. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, feel free to check out my page. I don't have that many followers yet, so I do appreciate all the support from you guys. Plus I can post updates and it'll be a faster way to contact me. But anyway, back to the comment. Your CEO, Ms. Hunter, needs to be able to execute and beat the estimates given the strong tailwinds. And I actually agree with that. There is a strong demand in the EV sector right now with the transition of the ICE vehicles into electric. Tesla is delivering outstanding numbers for their vehicle deliveries, so obviously there's a big demand. He also then adds, congratulations on record sales. I don't think you should be proud of a record backlog. On this, it's kind of up in the air. Just because you have a big backlog doesn't necessarily mean that you're not performing well. It could just mean that they're closing a lot more deals than what their current capacity is able to handle. And that's just going to be an issue with startup companies. Obviously, Tritium's trying to open new facilities, so hopefully some of that backlog does come down. But at least having a backlog means that there is money that is coming. It's better to have a backlog than no backlog. Let's move over to their fourth quarter results. So for the second half of 2021, they announced 98 million, which is 416% year over year. They also announced record contracted backlog. That's going to make over 48% of 2022's revenues, and a full revenue guidance of 170 million for next year. So with the contracted backlog, that's essentially locked up revenue. They just need to be able to deliver their charging stations. They don't need to go out and make sales or anything. They already have these deals locked up. Now they actually just have to produce the charging stations and be able to deliver them. They also did announce that they are in the final stages of their selection for the US factory. This is going to help with some of that backlog capacity. The company expects an announcement in the first quarter of 2022, and I keep forgetting that we're already in 2022, so this announcement will actually come in the next couple months. They also expect the production to start in the third quarter of 2022, so that's going to elevate their capacity and be able to cut down on some of that backlog that we just talked about. Also remember, Tritium's actually an Australian company, so for them to start a new factory in the US is a great business move. So hopefully this new facility helps with expansion, also be able to deliver these products a lot faster. Hopefully start competing with Evgo, which is one of the other big names in the DC fast charging. We're going to start getting more exposure in the US. So for this last quarter, they booked in 41 million, which is more than double Q3's revenues. But they actually missed their full year forecast of 84 million. They only brought in 78 million for 2021. So not a perfect earnings, but they do have a pretty valid reason why they didn't get 84 million this year. The main reason being the supply chain challenges. If you've been following any of the stocks this year, you know the manufacturing companies have struggled with the supply chains. Now this isn't all bad though, because it looks like just their products were delayed. So it does look like they're producing these products, it's just delivering them to customers. Tritium expects to record these revenues as products by customers in the next quarter. And then they're also starting to see some of the supply chain constraints go down. They are seeing a decline in December compared to November. So that's good, it's going to help them get back on schedule. As far as their percentage in sales, they did make 141 million this year. Compared to last year, they only made 60 million, and that's actually 136% increase. So they more than doubled their sales this year, and actually most of their sales happened in the second half of 2021. They brought in 98 million in the third and fourth quarter. So phenomenal growth, and we're still at an early stage of EV adoption, so tons of opportunity here. As I stated earlier, they currently do have a pretty large backlog, but they do expect that to be completed before 2022. And that also gives us an idea of their revenue guidance. Since that's going to make about 48%, they'll probably be aiming at 160 million for the year. and that is at their current production levels. Like I mentioned earlier, they do plan to have that facility running in the third quarter, so some of these numbers might go up as well. And since it is a very fast growing sector, I do expect these guys to beat their earnings, but we'll just have to wait for those numbers to come out and kind of reassess from there. And I'm not too upset about missing some of those numbers just because of the supply chain. I think that was across the whole sector. I'll wrap up the video with some of their most recent business highlights, and then we'll talk a little bit about the business merger. And I'll tell you guys my plans and predictions of where we can go. So one of their most recent highlights is definitely the Shell Global EV Charging tender. They're basically partnering up with Shell to convert some of these retail sites into an EV charging station. That's going to go all across these different countries: Europe, South Africa, Asia, Middle East, and North America. Also, not to mention that Tritium did partner up with Aquapower, so now Tritium's going to help power electric boats. So that's not listed here, but just thought I would share that with you guys. So I haven't done enough research on electric boats, but I don't know if Chargepoint is charging electric boats. So that is something that Tritium might have over some of the other charging companies. But you guys let me know in the comments below. The second is they were able to refinance some of their debt up until 2024. And that's great because now they can start using this money to invest in the business and help the company grow in other countries. For example, the facility that they're currently working on, and then they can also use this funds to help develop new products. And then speaking about products, they did unveil the new Pkm Charging Station. It's basically a new design with multiple chargers using one single shared power system. And so what I think that's going to help with is some of their margins. They'll be able to manufacture this product a lot cheaper because they're using a lot less parts. And then they'll also be able to use this kind of as leverage to sell it to customers. Maybe they can sell the product a little cheaper, or maybe they can incentivize by saying a lot less maintenance will be required because it has less parts. And that essentially reduces the customer's capital investment. And then the last two highlights, a little bit more boring but more significant in my opinion, is they did open the charging facility, and then they're also re-emphasizing that they are working on that new factory, which is going to either be in Texas or Tennessee. So that's definitely going to help them with exposure in the US, but it's also going to help them produce a lot more stations. As you can see, from May to December, they went from 4,400 chargers to 6,700 chargers. So once they do get that facility going, that's going to definitely help them out. So for those that currently are invested in DCRN, go out and vote in favor of the business combination. The business combination meeting is going to be on Wednesday, January 12th at 10 a.m. Eastern Central. So if you are investing, definitely go out and vote in favor before that date. As it sits right now, Tritium is going to be trading around a 1.2 billion market cap, which is actually very undervalued compared to a lot of the other publicly traded companies. It looks like both management sides are eager to approve and close the business merger, so it really is just up to us to get enough votes in and approve the merger. So guys, obviously I'm very excited for this merger. I currently have warrants, but I do plan to own some shares. My initial plan was to buy the warrants. Hopefully there would be a pre-merger run-up, and then I could sell some of those warrants and convert them to shares. But obviously it hasn't had any volume. The market conditions have made things more unpredictable. The warrants don't expire till 2023, I believe, so I have plenty of time to convert those. And I think by then this company will be trading higher. So this is just going to be a long-term hold. If there's a dramatic run-up, I will sell some of the warrants and then probably buy some shares if there's any big dip. Because after merger, there tends to be a lot of volatility with SPACs. So there could be an opportunity somewhere there. But obviously I'm not telling you guys to go out and buy this one. This one's just one that I'm investing in, and I actually really like it. I did make more in-depth videos on Tritium, so if you guys want to know more about the company before you invest, check out some of the other videos in my channel, and then let me know what you guys think. So guys, that is all I have for today's video. Tritium is going to merge with DCRN next week, so be on the lookout for that. It is currently trading under $10, so very, very attractive. But let me know your favorite charging company in the comments below. I hope you guys learned something from the video. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.